Hello to everyone out there. How's
Hey
it
there,
going?
guys. I can't see the amount of people in our webinar, so
Uh,
I
it
guess it'll just be
is,
based off chats.
yeah. I don't know. The numbers are kind of like they just jumped all over the place for me, so I have no idea. It looked like it like spiked to a lot of people were here, then it went way down, and now it's going back up again. So I'm assuming there are people here. So hello, everyone. It's nice to see you on this lovely morning. I think we're getting thunderstorms today, so
It's nice and sunny in Calgary. Cold, but sunny.
oh, there we
You can
go.
come visit me.
Yeah, hey, road trip. Hi to Carol and hi to Jack. I see them both saying hi in the chats here. Anyone else, if you're in there, you're more than welcome to send any questions or messages in the chat. Say good morning or let us know where you're from. Maybe if you're new to inFlow or if you're a long-time customer or anything like that. We're just going to wait a few minutes just to give people some time to get in. We are live on Facebook as well too. I don't see how many people are on there, so there could be other people there. And myself, Phil, Katia is here with me, and Star is also lurking in the chats to hopefully help out with everything. So yeah, I see lots of hellos coming in. Hi, John, Don, Sherry, DJ,
We're
Hong
getting a lot of
Bing,
people.
Janet, or Jeanette, sorry, Mayuku, Dakota, lots of people. Oh, from Idaho, cool.
Good morning, guys. Or good evening for, I don't know if anyone's watching from a different part of the world. Could
Time
be a different
zones, yep.
time zone, but hopefully everyone's ready to learn a little bit more about DYMO, or if you're here for something specific, a specific question, feel free to post it in the chats. As Phil mentioned, Star is going to be answering those questions. I'll also help out. Yeah, I'm super pumped. Phil, are you pumped?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. And Jeanette there was saying she's from Sweden, so that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Hopefully it's not too late for you over there. Well, no, I guess it shouldn't be too
Afternoon.
late, but yeah, I don't know how long our webinar will be today. DYMO is fairly straightforward, but hopefully we can help anyone who's new to maybe possibly labeling and stuff like that, or just share some helpful tips kind of thing for it. So yeah, we're just going to wait another minute or so, and then we can get started.
And you guys can all hear us perfectly, right? And see the slideshow that Phil is presenting. I want to just say all good in the chats. Yeah, thank you, Don. Thank you, Stephanie. Awesome, you guys. Lots of thumbs up. So
There we go.
I just like to check
Nice.
that because I am like I don't know, I'm cursed, I think, with technical issues whenever I do webinars. So I hope I don't bring that onto your webinar, Phil.
We hope not to, but we're tech support day in day out. We can figure it out even if there is something going on.
Exactly.
Support, helping support.
There you go. And that was Star. She doesn't want to show her face today, but she is here helping out. So
I'm still rocking my COVID hair, so my camera will stay off. Thank you.
oh. As I say,
Stars, sorry?
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think Star, this is your first time moderating as well, right?
It is, yeah, ever moderating a webinar of any type. Yes.
There you
Awesome.
go. All right. Well, I guess we'll get this started. Looks like things should be going. Again, my name is Philip. I work on the community and sport team at inFlow, or we call it CSI for short. We have Katia here with us as well. She's actually from our onboarding team. And again, as we mentioned, Star is also helping out. She's also on the CSI team with me. So yeah, put a couple faces to some of the people you may have talked with from different times. So yeah, we wanted to welcome you all here and hope that maybe you'll learn something new from the presentation today. We're going to be covering how you can connect a DYMO printer to inFlow so that you can print your labels, as well as how you can create those custom labels so that you can use them. So again, some pretty standard stuff, but it can be a little tricky if you don't know what you're doing. So just kind of a quick breakdown on the steps that we're going to be doing. Basically, the first step, we're going to be getting the DYMO software. creating templates with it, and then showing how you can actually print your labels from inFlow. There will be both demos that I'm going to be showing. We're going to be using both the Windows program as well as the what we call the web app, which you use in any browser. So that can be on like Macs or Linux or Windows itself. So we will be jumping in and showing some actual stuff like that. If you have questions at any point, you can put them in the chat. There will be a couple spots where we kind of pause for questions as well too, but feel free to post them at any point. All right, so let's get started. So a couple kind of helpful points with the DYMO offers a lot of different label printers, and they've released very different versions of their software. So unfortunately, inFlow isn't compatible with all of them. So right now we are compatible with what they call their DYMO Label software. This works both with the Windows program and the web app, as I had mentioned before. And basically, DYMO's newest software, which is what they prompt you to install with pretty much any of their label printers when you get them now, is going to prompt you to install something called DYMO Connect. Unfortunately, that one doesn't work for printing labels. We actually did try to make this work, but there were some incompatibilities with sending the data over there. So for the time being, at least right now, we are still using DYMO Label instead of DYMO Connect.
Yeah, and I think they're on V8, right?
Yeah,
Still?
V8, yep.
Yeah, DYMO Label V8.
So where you would start is basically you need to download the DYMO software. You can find this at any point. So instead of having to send you off to DYMO's website and try and search through all their different pages and everything like that, we have a nice and handy little link that you can actually get it from right from within the web app at any point. So I'm just going to switch over here. So this is my account here on inFlow. If you go into the menu, to options, and then under company settings, this is where you're going to find and manage all your barcode information and stuff. And basically right here, you'll see this little button here, DYMO Label Printers. If you click this guy, it opens up a nice little window here. And so right on here, you're going to see there's actually a little link here to download the software for DYMO Printer. So you can always come here at any point, click that link, and it'll just start an automatic download right away. So you can just see it's downloading on my computer. And that will download the version that we are compatible with at any point. So if you change computers or you're using it on a different one or something like that, you can always come back here and get that software again. And we'll go over some other stuff in there in just a moment. So the installation itself, I'm not going to install it here because I already have it installed on my computer, but it's very straightforward. There's no customization options or anything that you have to do. Literally, it's just opening it, clicking next, next, next kind of thing. And when you're done, it will give you the option to show the README and stuff, which you can if you want. Otherwise, you just hit finish, and you will be set up. So once you've got the software installed, you're going to need to create templates. So what you kind of need to know is that with the DYMO software, how it's kind of working is that we're not actually putting inFlow detail into the software itself. We're creating templates that inFlow can then feed all of our information into. So this is what we kind of called like placeholders. You're going to put placeholder information into the templates, and then these placeholders each have a reference, and that's what's going to tell inFlow where to put that information, and DYMO is going to know how to kind of interpret that. So just kind of showing like a reference code, for example, here. You can see that on this image on the left, you've got the barcode, and then underneath item name, and then on the right, we're actually showing what we're populating from inFlow, so it's actually filling it in with a barcode number, as well as like an item name. So here we're just using Archon, which is our company name. So the main thing that you need to keep in mind with all of this is that there are specific label reference codes that you have to actually use. So these have to be put in exactly as they are displayed here. And we also have this on a knowledge base article that's available on our website at any point. So how can I create DYMO templates? If we look down on here, we're going to have all the reference codes. So these are all the different fields that inFlow can pass to DYMO. But basically, you have to use, so if I want the item name to show up on a template, we have to use item name exactly. You can't have this as one word. It has to have the space. Same with any of these other kinds of things. So like, again, if you're using one of your custom fields, you can't put a space in between. Otherwise, that reference won't know what to match up. And so there are a bunch of them. And again, you can reference those on the knowledge base article at any time.
And thank you for mentioning as well, because sorry to interrupt. In onboarding, we get a lot of people who think that you actually have to type it into the text field on the template itself to get that information populated. Phil's going to show exactly where you're going to need to put that reference code in just a second. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what text you have there. It's more in the reference section.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you open up the DYMO software that you installed, you will get something that looks a lot like this. There's a bunch of different things that you can do in here, but kind of the basics are, you see these 3 different tabs here on the left-hand side. These are the main things that you're going to be using. So first, the first tab here, labels. This gives you all the different label sizes that DYMO supports. And so you'll have to obviously choose one that's going to fit the printer that you're using itself. So whichever type of labels you've chosen for your printer, you'll have to find that exact size. So I know a very common one is like the address size, 28 millimeters by 89, or like the large address fields, or they're even like the shipping and different things like that. So depending again on which one you have, you'll have to find your label in the list. And if you actually click on them, they will give you, so this is actually almost kind of like pre-populated ones. So these ones all here on the side, you can choose. They've already got these items kind of added to the label that you can then modify and change as needed. Otherwise, you can always select a blank one here at the bottom right, and then that way you can just kind of start from scratch. So I'm just going to click a blank one here, which will give me a completely new label. The next thing that you're going to want to do then is add or design kind of how you want your label to look. So we go to the next tab here, which is the Insert tab. And basically from here, then you can add on your different elements that DYMO supports. So the main things that I see people using would be text boxes. So again, a text box you can then reference to anything like a name or description or the SKU, or again, like some fields or something like that. Code, of course, is usually what labels are very important for, because a lot of people want to speed up scanning and everything like that, so you can put your barcode on there. And then again, you can customize it however you want. So if you wanted to have like an image on there or something, you can definitely do that and just kind of make it the way that you want. So for instance, we can put on a barcode. All you have to do is drag and drop it on there. It just like pretty much any program, you can click on it, move it around, you can resize it. Now, one important thing to keep in mind with barcodes, different barcodes require a certain amount of space. So like if you see, if I shrink this, the barcode is now too small to actually fit on that label. And it's going to actually give you an error and show you that. So leaving enough space for the barcode is definitely recommended. I usually try and just make it kind of like the whole bottom of the label. That way it's got lots of room to expand. Then we can also add, say, like a text box. Maybe we'll just put that up here. We'll shrink it down. And we can put a second one. So again, shrink it down. You just make it fit however you want. Again, you could kind of like put it in the center if you want. You could have some on the left, some on the right. And then the important part, so again, right now this is all just placeholder text, so it doesn't actually have any information in it. What we need to do is set up those references. So if we look at the, again, the reference codes that we have, so we want to set the barcode. I'm going to just copy and paste it right from here. All you have to do is you can either right click on your item in DYMO and it'll give you this little menu here, and you can select properties. and this little window is going to come up, and under the Advanced tab is where you're going to see this reference name. So reference name we want to set to barcode, so exactly like we have it on that other page, and we can hit OK. On most of these, you can also double click them, and it'll open up that properties page. And just the other important thing that I wanted to point out here, especially with barcodes, you can actually choose different barcode types. So there are lots of different barcode types available throughout the world. Different areas of the world use different barcode standards. So you can choose and pick different ones here. And these will also affect kind of how it looks. So some can support more characters, some support less. So again, depending on what barcodes you're using, you want to select kind of the correct one for it. So you can also, at the bottom here, it gives you some alignment and sizing options. So you can affect both like the size. So this will make the barcode even smaller, or again larger. So if you are running into an issue where perhaps your barcode isn't fitting on the label itself, you might want to try coming in, setting it to like the small size, because that'll give it a little extra room. So if we go back, sorry, go back and look at our reference codes. We've got lots of different other ones on here that we could put. So a lot of times you're probably going to want to put the item name. So again, we can do the exact same thing. I'm just right-clicking on the text box, going Property, Advanced, and then under the reference name, putting in that exact same field. Just like the barcode, it does have like horizontal alignment and everything as well too. So, and like text colors, so you can change any of those there. And we can also put, say, the description. That's probably something that a lot of people would use too. So again, right click properties, and then just put it under the reference name. Once you've configured your label and have it all set up the way that you want, all you have to do is you hit save. So you can either do Control S or at the top, they'll give you a save or save as. You can save these anywhere that you want, and you can name it anything that you want, but like this one, I have barcode, name, and description. And an important thing to note is that this version of the software will create these as .label files. The other versions of software would create like .dymo, I believe it is, instead, which is, again, not compatible, so you want to be making sure that it is saved as a .label file. And once you hit save, your template is complete. So I'm just going to pause for a quick second here before we actually upload it to inFlow to then see if anyone has any questions at the moment.
So far, we're good. Christopher asked about Zebra, but yeah, right now it's DYMO only.
Correct. Yeah, definitely. That's fantastic, and thank you for suggesting that. We'll record that and pass that feedback along to the team. That kind of stuff is things that we do kind of take into consideration. So perhaps in the future we can add an integration for Zebra labels as well.
It looks like Stephanie has a question as well. She's asking about serial numbers.
So at the moment, serial numbers cannot be put on your labels. This is just simply from the fact that when it's passing the information, it's not passing per item. And so unfortunately, it's not one of these options that is on there. It's just sending the entire product details, not each individual, because each individual one would have its own serial number. So that is, again, something that we're looking at, and maybe in the future we'll be able to do, but it would definitely require kind of a big rework of, I think, how it's kind of doing it at the moment.
I think there was a workaround for that, and I think I saw it probably like 6 months ago. I don't know if it's still applicable. With the serial numbers, we had a way to like import serial numbers into DYMO and then do it from there. It's not easy. I mean, it's not the easiest way to do it, but
yeah, basically DYMO does have an option to import data, and it uses CSV files. So you can export your products from inFlow so that you get all that information, and those exports do include the serial numbers. and then import it into DYMO. So again, it's not automatically doing it for you, but it would still make it faster than having to like manually type out each one and do it that way. So yeah, definitely good question. Okay. So then printing your labels from inFlow. So the first step, obviously, with this is you're going to have to add your labels to inFlow itself. So to do this, you're just going to head back to the same spot that we were in before. So again, go down to the menu, options, and then to company settings, or you can actually get it from clicking your email at the top and just going right to company settings. You'll scroll down again, and then we've got our nice handy little DYMO button. Right now I have a couple of barcodes on here, so you may not see these the first time that you're doing it, but you can always come back here to manage your barcodes as well, or sorry, your labels as well. And so here we can see there's a nice easy add new button. You're going to have to find the label file that you just created. So again, I just made this one, barcode name and description. I'm going to open that up here. You can optionally, so it'll just automatically put the name of the file in there, but if you want to change the name of it, you can name it something that might make more sense to you or be easier to remember. So we can just put webinar label, hit upload, and so now it's going to actually have it in here. So again, handy to know, you can always come in here and remove any of the labels. So if something's changed, you no longer want it, or you're not using it or something like that, you can definitely come back here, just click remove and be able to take it away. If you needed to say update a label, there is no way to update the label itself specifically. So you would actually just go back into your DYMO software, make your changes, and then come back here and click add new again. So you'd most likely want to add new and then remove the old one. Okay. Now that we've got the labels actually entered into inFlow, there's a bunch of different ways that we can actually use them. So I'll go through kind of a few different options that you have. So this right here is the Windows application for inFlow Cloud. So you can actually print labels from a few different screens. One of the handiest ones, or I think that most commonly used, is just going directly into your products itself. You can pick any one of your products. Once you've attached DYMO and you have an actual label in here, you're going to see this new option up here at the top, which you wouldn't have had before, so label. And if you click on it, you've got two options, either make label or manage labels. If you click manage labels, it's just going to open your web browser so that you can get to this page again and manage your templates. Otherwise, you can hit make label, and it'll open up a new little window here and load it up.
I love how you have energy drinks in here.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course you do.
Something to keep me going. And my internet, I think just because I'm sharing, everything is going a little slow. But so what it's going to come up with, so right now we can actually see, so it's pulling my product name, so Rockstar Original. It's pulling the description and barcode. And right here, you'll have the layout template. So you can actually choose between all the different templates that you upload. So the one that we just created today, this one, and it'll just switch over. So there we go. So again, it's still pulling. We had put the name, the description, and the barcode, and it's getting all three of those fields directly from the product itself. When you're on here, you can change the amount of quantity. So if you want to print multiple of it, you can easily do that. If you also have more than one printer connected to your computer or anything like that, you can choose which printer that you actually want it to go to.
And make sure it's on.
Yes.
Because a lot of people will forget to turn on their printer, and yeah, it won't be able to find it.
This is always a good thing. You always want to have things turned on. So yeah, so that's really helpful and really easy way to print just one label, but I know a lot of people, you may want to print multiple labels at one time. So we do actually have a few different ways that you can do that. So probably one of the easiest ways to do it, or I guess most useful, is actually if you've created a purchase order for any items, you can actually then directly print labels from the purchase order. So if you go to any purchase order, you'll now see again the label button up here. Same process, you hit make labels. It's going to open up the window, and what this is going to do then is it's actually going to generate labels for all the products on that order. So you can see I have 3 different products on here. We're getting some Doritos, and it's actually automatically put them all in here. And it's actually even putting the quantity that I have on order here. So it's got 12 labels for each one because that's exactly what I had on the order. Now you can again go in and you can actually change how many you want to print. So if you don't need 12 for each one, or you can actually unselect certain ones. So if you only wanted to print 1 or 2, you can easily do that as well. And then you'll still have the same options. You can choose which layout you want to use or which printer you want to go to. So again, that's a nice, easy way of being able to print multiple barcodes at one time. And the other way would actually be if you go into your current stock screen. So go to Menu, Inventory, Current Stock. This is where you're actually going to see your quantity on hand for your all your different items and everything in here. I know we're not seeing any kind of label button or anything, but we have a lot of handy things that sometimes seem a little bit hidden. So if you actually just right click on anywhere on this top row, you'll get a menu. So here normally you'd be able to just choose what columns you want to show. So you could unshow certain ones if you don't want to see them. You can export to CSV files, but you also now have this option, print labels for these items. So if we click that, it's again going to do just like the purchase order. It's going to take all the items that are on this list that's being shown here, as well as the quantity that's being shown, and give you the option to print them. So all of the ones that do actually have a quantity, the things with 0 quantity won't show up. But so again, now I've got 60 of each because that's how many I have in stock. And just like on purchase orders, you can optionally select or change the amount that you want to print. So if you only want 6 or something of one of the other ones, then you can easily change that to make it a lot faster and easier. And this will also then work if you were to filter this list. So if you were doing it by location or category, or you were choosing kind of only specific products that way you can easily print just those ones. So if we switch over back to the web app, we can show how you can do it. It's a very similar process. You would go into we can look at first the products. And if I just go back to one of these again, on here, it is worded a little bit different. It says print barcode instead of make label, but same idea. You click it and it will pop up that same type of window. And again, you can choose what layout you want to use. So if we choose our webinar one today, you can choose the amount of copies, as well as which printer you want it to go to. So the exact same options that you have on the Windows one, just inside the web app. And this will also work in purchase orders as well too. So if I pull up purchase order, you go under print, and then again, barcodes. Then this will give the same options again. So you can again choose how many, or if you want to optionally take some away, and it'll do the exact same things where it's taking how many you have on the order itself and each product. So that way you can kind of do that in bulk all at one time.
And one thing to just mention, because Star answered the question in the chat, but Christopher had asked if setting up the DYMO settings was just for the administrator account, and it is. So you would have to be an admin in inFlow to be able to set that up. But once it's set up, the whole team has access to it.
Yeah, so the admins would have to be the ones to add the labels, templates, and everything like that. But then as long as you have access to something like a purchase order or anything like that, that print option will be there for you. So you'll be able to select that. Any other questions at the moment?
None in chats.
No, we
Like-
had one from Stephanie asking what we recommend, and I just let her know we recommend the DYMO Label Writer 450.
Cool. Yep, that is the one that we have tested the most with, and pretty much everyone on the team has one that so we can all print them out and test whenever we need to. They definitely do have a lot of other models that do work as well, but pretty much any of their ones that connect to the computer should work. Oh, I see a couple other ones coming in. Does it work for the sales orders as well? And is it possible to print from the work orders? So from the sales orders, unfortunately, no, it doesn't give you the option to print labels. Usually, I believe the thinking behind that is because at this point, you're already selling the product. It's not, you're not like stocking your shelf or something like that with it. So it's kind of at the different stage in your process usually. I do know that kind of some of our customers we've talked to use kind of like a quick little workaround. If they have like a list of products that they want to print out a bunch of labels for or something like that, they'll just create a temporary purchase order, put on all the products that they want with the amount of, like the quantity set as the amount of labels that they want, print them, and then they can just cancel that PO because they don't actually need it. And from work orders, actually, that's a good question. I'm not sure off the top of my head. We can pull up. No, I don't have any work orders here because I just reset my database the other day, but we can. Actually, yeah, so there you go. You do have the option in work orders as well. So you would be able to print them from here too.
I was just trying to check quickly for you. You got there faster.
Let's see who can be the quickest with this one from John. If we use the 450 twin turbo, will it let us choose which label we're using, left or right?
Yes, it does give you that option. It basically shows up as a third option on that print screen to choose whether the left or the right side.
And Hong Bing is asking how to add a prefix number. I'll get more details on that.
Sure. Yeah, it depends what you're trying to add a prefix to, I guess. But yeah, if you can give more information, we can definitely try and help. I see Jack here said our barcodes only support 13 digits. Is it possible to get more than 13? We have a DYMO 450. So that could be a setting problem. Again, kind of like how I was showing in here, the different barcode types. I think it defaults to code 39 or 3 of 9. Which I don't think has a limit on the amount of them, but it might actually have to do with the size. So again, depending on the size that's actually printing out here, one thing that you can do to kind of test or troubleshoot any of these things, like right now, it's displaying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just kind of like sample data that you can put in there. So if I do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, hit OK, you're going to see my barcode has now changed. Now this is again is showing like a preview of the actual label itself. Right now it looks like that barcode is actually fitting on the label, so it should be okay with that amount of digits. If I made this probably like a large one, it's going to now say barcode doesn't fit, so it's now not like it's too much. So playing around with these, again, even medium seems like it's too big. So only at the small sizes is it actually fitting.
I was going to add that, yeah, because code 39 is the default. Code 128 is good to try out if you have a larger barcode. That's the one that we come across the most, at least during the onboarding sessions. It's the one that I tend to recommend is just the code 128.
Yep, and pretty much most barcode scanners, I know I can't talk for all of them, will usually have settings that you can change to tell it which type of barcodes you're scanning and stuff like that too. So you may have to kind of change different ones, but actually that was a good kind of example even here. I changed to code 128 auto, and it shrunk the size of it dramatically from I was on A before, and you can see how much longer it is right there, even though it's the same number of digits. So again, just these different types of barcodes could make a difference as well.
And regarding, I think, a prefix, let's say if we were to try to do one for the barcode, The one thing that I could think about is if you're generating them through inFlow, you could just do the prefix within the settings. If you are doing it through DYMO, I don't think you could add a prefix text and then have the reference code.
Yeah,
Right?
I
No?
don't think there's any way of doing that in DYMO itself. Again, there's kind of like no real options to add something to it there. I know what Katia was talking about there is if you're generating barcodes through inFlow, so this is a little off topic, but you can actually have it like automatically do them, and you can set like prefixes beforehand, and then that way when it creates the barcode, it'll start with that and then go through the numbers. You can also set suffixes. So that may be what you're looking for, but okay, so it looks like that's most of the questions, at least for the DYMO stuff. So the last thing I kind of want to go over, we already kind of just went over a couple troubleshooting tips for your labels and templates, but I guess one of the most common things that we see, again, kind of saying here, we don't expect things to go wrong, but I mean, software, things will always happen. A couple of the kind of things that we see happen sometimes is something like this. You click that make label button and the window pops up like it's working, and then all of a sudden it pops up saying we can't find the product you're looking for. So there's two main things that we recommend do when something like this happens. The first one is restarting the DYMO web service, which I know sounds scary, but it's actually very easy both on Mac and Windows. So I'll go through how to do that. And if you are using the Windows app, sorry, the wrong thing. If you're using the Windows program, I know it sounds strange, but actually logging out, so fully logging out, going to General, log out, not just clicking the X, and then logging back in, a lot of the times can actually help with that issue as well. But as I said, first step on here, the first thing you want to do is restart the web service. So just like all softwares, once you install things, they usually put stuff on there that you may not actually kind of know about. But what DYMO's doing is they've got what's called a web service running on your computer, and that's constantly just going in the background looking for like print jobs and stuff like that. This by default will start every time you restart your computer or turn it on or anything like that, but sometimes other programs can interfere with that or something can happen that just somehow makes it stop. So if you are on a Windows computer, at the bottom, I've got screenshots of it here because it would be too small to kind of see on there, but on the bottom of your actual tray, you're going to see this little DYMO symbol. So it looks exactly the same as DYMO's logo, which is small on here as well too. But if you hover your mouse over it, it'll say DYMO Label Web Service. And if you right click on it, then basically you'll see it pop up like where it does here on this second picture, where it says stop service, configure, diagnose, or exit. If it's not running, you'll actually see start service instead. So if this isn't there, then you want to search for DYMO Web Service and click it, and it'll start it up on your system, excuse me, and that should hopefully fix the problem. Otherwise, restarting it, so by clicking Stop Service and then Start Service, a lot of the times can fix these problems again. So I can actually even kind of just show you. I will go into my service, I just clicked Stop. I know you can't see it on there, but if I go back to my product and I click label, make label, it looks like it's great. Everything's going good. And then
Trying to make it break.
yeah, it's always the fun, trying to make things
Yeah.
break. There we go. So this one, it came up with a slightly different error because we have been trying to improve the error messages that come back to you, but it is actually saying, so there's a problem with the DYMO web service. It's not actually getting that connection. And again, it's kind of giving you some of these steps that I was just telling you there as well. So if I just go back in and I do like I was saying in the slides there, so if I, sorry, there we go. I'm just going to start the web service again, which it does it very, very fast, so you don't have to like wait around or anything like that. And then I try again. It should pick it up again. And again, this should happen by default when you start your computer and everything like that. So by default, it will be doing that. But you can also, if you click that configure button, you can kind of choose a couple different options as well. You normally don't need to fiddle around with any of those settings, but that is available if you need to. And then, yeah, if restarting the web service doesn't work, again, log out of inFlow fully, so not just closing it, going to menu, general, log out, and then log back in, and then try generating the label again, because that can also, I think it just gets like stuck in the cache somehow and gets stuck in memory. Otherwise, if it's still not working, then that's what we're here for. So reach out to us, and again, we will try our best to help as fast as possible. So you can get us through live chat during these times here, email pretty much anytime, and then again, we do have a phone call request that we do try and get back to you. But the fastest option is definitely our live chat because we are a small team, so getting through phone calls does take a little bit longer, unfortunately. And yeah, so that is pretty much everything that you should need to know about getting DYMO set up, getting your labels printed, and how all that works. If anyone has any other questions in here before we end, by all means. Otherwise, Star did just post in there that you can go to our support page to contact us. Otherwise, you can email us at support@inflowinventory.com at any point, and we can definitely try and help out.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. Honestly, that was very informative, and I love the fact that we have those troubleshooting tips because we see that quite often, and it might not always be when you're just starting off with inFlow. Sometimes it's after using DYMO for a long time, and then you just get one of those errors, and it's a fairly easy fix most of the time.
For sure, yeah. Unfortunately, sorry, I'm not on a Mac, so I can't show what it looks like, but the web service does the exact same thing on a Mac. I think it's just in the system tray, which is at the top right instead of the bottom right, like on Windows or anything like that. So, yeah, no, I've seen lots of people saying it was helpful. So thanks, Don, Sherry, Jack, Jeanette, Sarah, everybody for coming in and joining us. We do appreciate it. And I know, actually, sorry, I had looked this up, and of course I forgot. We have another webinar coming up in the future, of course, which I wrote down, and now I lost it.
Let me see if I can look it up as well. I feel like we try to do this on a monthly basis, so there'll probably be one next month.
Oh, I think it's on. Is it on Zero? Did we just recently released that? I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, if you go to our webinar page on our support site and everything like that, you can definitely sign up for that. Otherwise, keep up to date for. Oh, there we go. Star posted the link in there. Webinar series.
I'm on it for everything. Oh, cereals. There we go.
Oh, cereals is coming in a few months. There you go. Yeah, because we're doing some exciting stuff with serial numbers coming up soon too. So there we go. Oh, cool.
Thanks, Katia.
Oh, and Zero in a few months. Okay, yeah, I think cereals is next month and Zero is coming up in a few months. So, there we go. Yeah, cereals is next month. Confirmed. Hooray.
Maybe we'll see Stephanie at the cereals demo because she had a question about the cereals on the DYMO. So.
Yeah, Stephanie.
Stephanie, you're invited.
You're saying yay. So there we go. I think we're bringing cereals to some other platforms and stuff, which it's not on right now too, which will be nice. So that's cool. Okay, well, again, thank you to everyone for joining. We really do appreciate it, and again, I'm sure we will speak to some of you at some point through support. So. Oh, there we go. Katia just helpfully said October 19th, week after Canadian Thanksgiving is when we're doing the cereals one. So keep your eye out for that, and we will talk to you later, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Guys. See ya.
Take care.